Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and in La Consola Botanic Garden in the city of Malaga in Spain, I found a bunch of pretty ancient, pretty big, pretty thick pomegranate trees. Yeah, you have to be so specific when stating the location because Malaga has a lot of botanic gardens and this is one of the less well known. It used to be an old out of town villa or retreat or palace like farm, and it was made into the botanic garden about 100 years ago by some British people. And yeah, I would guess those pomegranates are probably more or less from this time. They are among the thickest pomegranates I've ever seen. Pomegranates grow very slowly, and also they are susceptible. I mean, when the main stem dies, a lot of side stems come out. So right now in the south of Spain, we've had 20 years of drought. Often the main stems of pomegranates in desert-like areas have died back, and you still see the dead main stem, usually much thinner than those, and suckers coming out everywhere. Couple more pomegranates here. Yeah, here, as you can see, in this one most of the plant has died and suckers are coming out. There was probably, yes, there was another old one here, just the roots have survived. Same goes for this one, just the roots have survived and suckers are coming up. Even the stem that has died in the last year was not very thick here. Here another one where the original stem has died, but in this case it was probably really the original stem. It looks quite old. Let's see if we can see rings here. Well, if we would cut and polish this, we would probably be able to count the rings, but now I cannot really see any rings here, so we cannot guess the age. Another one here. Well, here the gardeners have been pretty unkind when trying to weed whack those shoots. They have weed whacked the bark of the ancient tree, and this is probably the oldest and most beautiful one. Pity. I totally don't agree with that kind of treatment. Another one over there, not looking that thick. So folks, what do you think? How old are those pretty ancient pomegranate trees? I mean, when we look at the thickness, the thickest ones are probably well above a foot or well above 30 centimeters. I mean, this is a shoe for my foot and this is a size 45, so it should be about 30 centimeters. So this one at the base could be around 40 centimeters thick. That's really one of the biggest pomegranates I've ever seen. They have been probably pruned regularly, but not in the last years. I would prune them again soon. I would remove all those two tall branches here. They are producing fruit. I found a couple of dried up fruits on the ground. However, especially the old varieties of pomegranates are usually not being harvested. Here are a couple fruits. They are not native to this part of the Mediterranean. They come from the east, from the southeastern Mediterranean. There are no wild pomegranates around here, and they haven't really become native here, unlike olives or figs, which are producing a lot of which are present now in the wild as relics of cultivation and as feral trees. The pomegranate, yeah, it's still present often in remote areas, but that's usually because it has been planted. I've seen very few seedlings, and I haven't seen any single place in Spain where I would call it introduced. Well, I would call it introduced into the wild. So beautiful old little trees, folks. How old do you think they are? Please tell me. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich city of Malaga. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.